Hey everyone, and welcome or welcome back to the Mind, Body, Soul Evolution. My name is Debbie, and today we're pulling cards for this transit of Saturn entering Aries, which happens, and want to refer to my notes because I want to make sure I have everything right, on, of all days, Friday the 13th of February, where it will remain until August 12th of 2028. So it's a 2-year transit. So we're going to be pulling cards for every sign. I will say if this gets a little long, I will probably cut it halfway through, ending at Virgo, and then making a secondary video. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. How is everyone? Thank you for being here. And so let's get into this. So this focus with this 2-year transit of Saturn entering Aries is going to be about discipline. It's about structure, responsibilities, and our personal goals. So if you have been a little wishy-washy or uncertain of what your goals are, or who you are in this world, or how you want to move, these next 2 years will help you to define that for yourself. So, and Saturn is also going to be retrograde. We love retrogrades, right? In Aries from July 26th, 2026 through December 10th of 2026. So a couple of months there, right? But this is going to be highlighting like accountability. Where have we not held ourselves accountable? We're starting to learn how to take structured action. So Aries is a fire sign. And our fellow fire signs, right? We can get really impulsive and just want to fly off. This says, though, move forward with a structured plan, right? We're not going just off the heat of the moment. We have a plan for where we're going. So this is going to be highlighted during the retrograde phase, right? And we're also going to be setting boundaries and evaluating our personal relationships, our relationships with others, our relationships with ourselves, and our relationships in our spiritual journey, whatever that means for you. And some of us will be taking a deeper dive into the spiritual aspect of things. Now, the temperature of the world is a little heated, right? And it's not a coincidence that all these things are happening now at the same time, where these planetary alignments are happening when the world feels like it's just fighting itself. And for some, it feels like a lot of the bad is being drawn out. But in order for anything to be healed, it has to be acknowledged, it has to be seen, and it has to be removed. So this is the world, the large stage world, doing its own shadow work. I don't know if anyone else has been saying that. This is what I'm saying. The universe, the world, it's doing its own shadow work. There's a lot of deep-seated beliefs, a lot of deep-seated lies, a lot of things that have been hidden that are starting to make their way. And it can feel overwhelming, and it can feel really stressful and daunting. The thing is to know who you are and stay true to yourself. So, but collectively, right, we're all deciding like who we are. We are reevaluating like our beliefs, what we hold true. And as things in the world start to come up, it brings you closer and closer to who you are, whatever side of the spectrum you're on. So if you have a deep feeling or a deeper action to something, that's your sign to lean into that. Maybe you've been a little separated from that part of yourself. Like lean into that and find out what that's telling you about yourself. So there's always lessons, even in the midst of chaos, right? So, okay, and our personal goals and our leadership styles are also starting to emerge. How are we, and if you don't consider yourself a leader, you still lead yourself. You lead yourself through your own life. So how you lead and how you move through life is also going to be highlighted. And we're going to be also redefining our personal boundaries, right? Maybe we need to set more boundaries. I'm going through a boundary setting thing myself. I have some things coming up personally. So let's get started. We're going right into Aries. I have the Cosmic Energy deck, Oracle cards, the Moon deck, what is this? The Wild Reflections Tarot. I have a secondary tarot if I feel like I need to clarify anything, the Sun and Moon Tarot, and the Enchanted Path. So we're going to pull all of these cards for every sign. So again, if this video gets to be too long, I will cut it after Virgo and continue. So hello Aries, and Aries, you're taking on a lot right now. You have a lot happening in your sign. So, and you're the first sign of the zodiac. So let's dive in. First of all, let's just see what Cosmic Energy Oracle cards hold for our Aries friends as you move to receiving in like these big planets. Miracles. Miracles are everywhere. Keep the faith. Keep the faith, right? Have faith in yourself. Have faith in the unknown. They say everything happens for a reason, and it takes a while for that reason to reveal itself. So, Aries, miracles, they're everywhere. Keep the faith. And I said this before. I don't know if I said it on here. I'm doing the book P Squared. The author is Pam Grout. It's a great book. There are experiments in there for tapping in to the universal energies and universal consciousness. Very interesting book. So if you're interested in tapping into that, again, here's your first card, Miracles. Let's see what the Moon deck holds for our Aries friends. Yeah. Aries, you're going to feel the brunt of this. The fire signs will feel the brunt of this for sure. And Aries and Libra will be feeling a lot of this because Libra is your opposite sign, right? So you balance each other out. Aries, and this says, I craft my core desires with certainty and ease. So craft your desires with certainty and ease. And again, miracles, right? Now, if you're setting intentions or going to start manifesting, I would do that soon because we're starting eclipse season on the 17th. And 17th starts the year of the fire horse. There's a lot going on. If you're setting intentions, I would say to everybody, do that soon, because I don't manifest or set intentions during eclipse season. But that's a personal choice. So Aries, craft your core desires with certainty and ease. So what is a tarot? Okay, there's a bunch of cards. How did this happen? I'm sorry. There's a bunch of cards face up. Let's get them back in the deck where they belong. Let's see if we can get a clean shuffle here. Here we go. Aries, what does the tarot hold for our Aries friends during this 2-year transit as Saturn moves into Aries? Because Neptune just moved into Aries. So Aries, you're holding like a lot of the big planets. 6 of Pentacles. Starting off with money. Money is foundational. That is a sense of security, a sense of building up your lifestyle, right? Supporting yourself, being grounded and anchored, which as we start to set new personal boundaries, right? We want to do so being grounded. We don't want to set them from a place of frustration, right? We want to allow our boundaries to be set from a place of wisdom. You have 3 of Wands, right? And just look at that. He's kind of like looking out, having a cup of coffee. Just note there's a camera there, a candle, and a second cup of coffee. Aries, who is that cup of coffee for? There's no one sitting in the seat. So some of you might be looking for a partner. So let's see. 6 of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. King of Swords. Okay, so you're getting really, really clear. And Three of Wands on the root of the deck. All major arcana. So nothing really earth-shattering. Although if I have time, I will do a deeper dive for each sign. So Six of Pentacles, right? In the traditional Rider-Waite, the Six of Pentacles is and it looks like an adult standing and throwing coins down to children, and he's throwing to some children, not the others. And maybe they haven't gotten to that, to the other kids yet, or maybe they're being very discerning. So as we go through this, as we start to redefine the kind of life that we want, although Pentacles is associated with money and structure and foundations, it's really important to be aware of who you let into your foundation. Like most of us have like a lot of friends or acquaintances, and we consider each other friends, but there's only so many. There should only be a few core people that are actually part of the foundation of your life that you're building for yourself. This is asking you to be a little discerning. Right? And Knight of Wands, right? Again, fire energy, right? Go with that passion, but go with the things that light you up, that are a yes. And if you get excited about a lot of things, that's fine. But what are the things that really, really resonate with you? Like he's got him and his dog, and that's it. They're all, again, on the water. This could very well be the same person out on the water. Kind of like just the thing that lights him up. And I love that the fact that it's probably a golden retriever. And he's like sunshine yellow, right? Again, things that illuminate you. So it's time to be really discerning for the foundation you're building and the people that you let into your foundational core self. For many of us, it's not going to be like 20 or 30 people. It's going to be like a handful of people. And you have King of Swords, gaining clarity. You've worked way too hard, Aries, to leave anything to chance, to not move forward with logic, right? So get really clear on what you want as you move forward. You have a dream. And there is still more to come. This chair is empty. This chair is going to be filled. You're ready. Like you have the cup there. I mean, I was saying this coffee. It could be anything. It could be whatever. It could be tea. It could be cocoa. Who are you inviting in? Again, the Six of Pentacles. And I rarely read this way. It's asking you to be really discerning. To get really clear. What is it that's lighting you up? And who lights you up? And that's, you're saving a seat at the table for who? Who are you saving a seat at the table for? Again, this is your core desires, right? Again, believe in miracles. They are out there. They are everywhere. But your core desires are the things that are deeply embedded. That is a big, full body yes. This is a great reading, Aries. Let's pull your Enchanted Path Oracle card and see what this is holding for you. Aries, you always start us off very strong and direct and to the point for sure, right? So let's see. Sorry, I'm a little frumpled up today. My hair is not doing the right thing. It's been a stressful couple of days. And I have a couple more days of stress. And then I get to take a break. So let's see. Truth. Live your truth authentically. So live your truth authentically. And in living your truth, and this is what this whole Saturn and Aries is about. We're deconstructing. We're deconstructing the past to build a new future. and anything from the past that is keeping you from your desires, that is keeping you from seeing the miracles, that is keeping you from being clear. That's the stuff you're going to be cutting out, because you're starting to live in your truth, your authentic self, which is what we're all here to do. So, Aries, that is your reading for this 2-year transit of Saturn in Aries. Let's move on to... Hello, Taurus. How are you? I'm trying to figure out my cards here. Again. Hello, Taurus. How are you? Happy. Today is, what is today's date? Tuesday, February 10th. So, I don't know when this video go up. Probably tomorrow, the 11th. And so, happy February, though, everyone. I know I have been absent. I'm redesigning my life and trying to figure out how I can do this and that, and still to do more of the things that I want to do, and balancing out the things that I have to do. So, Taurus, what does the cosmic energy hold for our Taurian friends? Harmony. Harmony is the beauty. Harmony is the beautiful melody in relationships. And there's 2 people standing on top of the mountain, and there is, I guess that is the moon, or the sun and the moon. It's that I don't know, but this is about harmony for you, right? Harmony is the beautiful melody in your relationships. How lovely is that, Taurus? I love that for you. Let's see what the moon deck holds for our Taurus friends, our Taurians. Okay. And it says, my dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. Now, Aries just had look for miracles. They are everywhere. And then your dreams reveal, this is card number 11, that magic is real and anything is possible. So look at the magic, right? And it's card number 11, a master number. There are 2 pillars, right? So that is balance, and harmony. And you have the card harmony. So if you have any Libra friends in your life, they are about balance and harmony. So let's see what the tarot holds for our Taurus friends for this transit of Saturn in Aries. This 2-year transit. What does tarot hold for our Taurus friends? Okay, you have 4 cards, and on the root of the deck, 2 of Wands. Okay, so Aries had the 3 of Wands, you have the 2 of Wands. And again, she is sitting on a bench. She has her bicycle next to her. She has a rod in her hand, her wand. One wand is on the ground, though. So she's moving forward, right? It's like, okay, maybe I don't need this. I just need this. Staring up at the starry sky. And there's a globe up there. So really like looking out into the world. And the traditional Rider-Waite, the person is standing there holding a wand in his hand. There's another wand off to the side, and he's holding the world in his hand. So let's see what the cards hold for you. The Emperor. Of course. Knight of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, 7 of Swords. Very interesting here. Taurus, very interesting. So as you're gazing out, right, and looking at the world, like you realize you get to command the world. The Emperor. The Emperor embodies all of the kings. All 4 kings is embodied in the Emperor. So this is stability. This is leadership. You're taking your role as the natural leader that you are. Knight of Pentacles. For some of you, this is going to come really so easy to some of our Taurus friends that you may, not that you're going to think that it's a joke, but it's going to be like almost laughable, like, oh, what do you mean, like, what am I, what kind of leader am I, but things come to you naturally. Your passion for growth and stability, this is part of innately who you are. And I'm really loving this for you. You have the Four of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Four of Wands, like celebrating, right? You're working really hard on yourself and on your life because you want to have fun. You want to have a stable home. You want to have people around you who are dancing and who are festive, right? Again, your dreams. This is your dream coming into reality. Seven of Swords. There's a lot of ways to read this card. I'm taking this for our Taurus friends as taking your power, taking back what's yours, taking all the original thoughts and ideas that maybe you've been told to set aside. You're starting to own them because you're building your world. You're taking the leadership role in your own life, but maybe in your community as well. So some of our Taurus friends may be rising up to leadership roles within your community. So just keep an eye out for that. Again, Two of Wands, right? Although the world looks like it's like above her, she knows with using her wand, she can command the world, from the world, what she wants and what she desires. This is part of the book that I'm reading, P Squared. Very powerful stuff, but you already are tapped into this, Taurus, and you already know this. You may not know it intellectually, but your soul knows it. I would invite you to take a little bit of a dive into that. Quantum physics. And see where it leads you. So let's pull your enchanted path card and see what this holds for our Taurus friends. I love when these readings just kind of come alive like this. And they just line up so beautifully. And you have visualize. See your dreams clearly in your mind's eye. And for me personally, I would just say the butterfly wings, they're like a yellowish. This is part of one of the experiments that I'm doing in the book P Squared. And this is a confirmation for me. Just saying, like, the universe conspires, right? So you have the card, Harmony, right? You have my dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. And it says, visualize your dreams, see them clearly in your mind's eye. And that will bring them into fruition. And I said, you're building your life. You're bringing your dreams into fruition of joy and happiness and harmony. And it all comes out in your cards. Taurus, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a note, put a comment in the box below. And we will move on. Taurus, thank you for watching your reading. And we will move on to Gemini. Hello, Gemini. Happy Saturn in Aries. Let's see how this is going to affect our Gemini friends, because our air friends can tend to overthink, overanalyze, and they can kind of separate. So let's see. So Gemini, this is your reading for this transit of Saturn in Aries. Let's see what it says for you. What is your cosmic energy card? You have bravery. Face the unknown with bravery. Trust your steps. Trusting yourself, right? It says trust your steps. Not the steps in front of you. Not the guidance from someone else. Trust your steps. And if you see, I've never seen this card before. These stars in the sky. But it looks like it kind of forms a head. Right? Maybe not. Maybe you don't see that. And maybe I see things differently. But look, it almost reminds me of the Fool card in the Major Arcana, which is the first card of the Tarot, where, at least in most decks, the person is standing like on the edge of a mountain or a cliff or on the edge of something ready to move forward, right? So bravery. Bravery, Gemini. Trust your steps. Your steps. So let's see what the moon deck holds for our Gemini friends. Yeah. I love this for you, Gemini. It's such a beautiful card. And you have shed habits that I shed habits that hinder my truth. I release and renew. And it's funny that you have this card, or maybe not funny, but there's a snake on here, and we're in the year of the wood snake in Chinese astrology, and that's about shedding, and we're doing the final steps of shedding old patterns and habits and lifestyles as you move into the fire horse, which is about heat, passion, and action, which is going to be happening in a couple days. So again, bravery. Face the unknown with bravery. Trust your steps as you shed habits that hinder your truth, and you release and renew. Exciting. You know what? I went to go grab this deck, so we'll just pull this deck. This is the Sun and Moon Tarot. And since I went to go grab this one, I'll just go ahead and take it. Sun and Moon Tarot, what do you hold for our Gemini friends during this transit phase of Saturn in Aries? Let's see, what does this hold for Gemini? And on the root of the deck, Seven of Wands. Let's see what this is all about. Into again, another starry sky, right? You have a starry sky here. So trusting yourself when you can't see the path forward. And sometimes the path isn't supposed to reveal itself. It's taking one step. When you take that step, then the next step will reveal itself. But sometimes if we know the whole plan, like I tell people in my yoga class all the time, if you knew what we were doing today, you would never show up. And they say, yeah, we wouldn't, if they knew what the class was going to be. But I guide them one step to the next, to the next. That's like having trust and faith. You have, King of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. That is your Sagittarius friends. Hello. And Seven of Wands. Okay, Gemini, so the first thing that's coming out is, are some of you feeling like you have to do it on your own, like you have to do it by yourself, or you have to live this life by yourself and not let anybody in? I feel like a little bit of sense from some of being lonely. And I'm going to show you the cards. King of Pentacles, right? This is someone who is self-made, that they've taken full charge of their life, and they're sitting at the top, like you're sitting at the top, at the pinnacle of your life. This person is sitting alone. You have the Five of Cups, which is about feeling a sense of loss. You can feel lost or a sense of loss. And the thing is, there are, this deck is a little hard. There are two cups face up. In the traditional deck, there are three cups face down in front of the person and two cups face up behind the person. And the thing is, if we focus on what is no longer or what we have lost, then we can't possibly feel or make space for what's ready to come in for us, what's ready to come forward for us. You have the Wheel of Fortune. And here's the thing, Gemini, you get to choose. Okay, this 2-year transit is about personal choice. Are you going to take the wheel of destiny and fortune and start to navigate it yourself? or are you going to just let the universe or others tell you where to move or how to move? I think you have an internal conflict here, Gemini. And I said at the very beginning of this, that Geminis tend to have, they weigh both sides of the coin, right, in their minds. For some of you, there's an internal conflict that I think doesn't even exist in the reality of the world. We can find disappointment, and that can be so hard that it's hard to move the wheel forward. These 2 cups upright are telling you it's time to move. It's time to shed what is hindering you, or what has been hindering you. And for some of our Geminis, this has been like a long time. Right, for Sagittarius, for our mutable signs, which would be Pisces, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Virgo, we've had like a 8 to 10 year phase of like, it's been really hard. We've had a lot of things happen. We've had a lot of loss in some form or another, whether it's friendships, people passing, jobs, money, finances, and it's really hard, like, to get a grasp on things. The universe is saying, though, trust yourself. Trust yourself. To trust yourself is to go within to this space, right? Your friends can help you, but it has to come from here, here, not the mind, here from the soul. Gemini, you're having a spiritual alignment or attunement is what they're saying. A spiritual attunement, not alignment. That was my word. Attunement is what the guides are telling me for you. You got this, Gemini. You got this. Let's see what the enchanted tap. And right away. Okay, harmony. Cultivate harmonious relationships. And I said at the beginning that do you feel like have you been feeling like you have to do it on your own and you're living this life by yourself, or there was no help? But these 2 cups upright again are telling you it's time to move forward. And moving forward, it's cultivating harmony, relationships, and letting people in, even if it's just a little bit, to trust on that. Gemini, there's some healing happening for you, and I am loving this for you. Let me know, Gemini, how this resonates with you, and we will move on to Cancer. Hi, Cancer. How are you? Happy February. Happy almost eclipse season. Happy Saturn and Aries. Happy almost Mercury retrograde. Oh my goodness, there's so much happening. But Cancer, this is for you. Let's see what the cosmic energy holds for our Cancerian friends. Okay, 2 cards popped out. We will take them. One is meditation. Meditation connects you to your inner self. So, Gemini, if you're still watching, always meditation. And light. Light dispels darkness. Keep your inner light shining. So there's light, and this is meditation. So you notice how both lights are in the sky, but this light, when you start to sit with yourself, the light gets bigger. The light gets bigger. It illuminates you and your inner self. I love these for you, Cancer. And maybe I'll come on and do, if I remember, a little meditation, just like something to help us out, right? Let's see what the moon deck holds out. Meditation. And I love the depiction of this. I mean, she is flanked by 2 trees. She's staring out into the mountains. It looks like she's sitting on water, like in the middle of lotuses, and just look at that. And there is a bird in the sky, which would designate a higher consciousness. And this card has butterflies coming out of it. If you see that, just saying. whatever that means to you. And if anyone sees these at this reading and you want me to send you a picture of one of your cards, I'm not going to do all of them, but if there's one of these cards that really resonate with you and you would want me to, or post the picture, let me know. Yeah, we can do that for sure. As a reminder, right? So what does the moon deck hold for our Cancerian friends? You have collaboration brings more sweetness into my life and into the world. There's the honeybees. And just a side note, the combs of the honeybees that that they build to hold the honey, they are made in geometric shapes. That is sacred geometry happening in the honeybee hive. Those of you who follow sacred geometry, Archangel Metatron is the archangel for that if you're interested. Just saying. Okay, let's see what the tarot holds for our Cancerian friends. As they meditate, they go within. They let their inner light start to shine. And they collaborate, right? Bringing sweetness into their life. I tell you, I love how these things, and I will say this all the time, I love how these things kind of line up. Okay, on the root of the deck, Ace of Wands. So new opportunities, maybe a passion project coming your way. Seven of Pentacles, Princess of Cups, Five of Pentacles. Okay, so this is really interesting. Seven of Pentacles, two Pentacles. So it says like keep going, right? If like you probably don't see how far you've come or how much you've created for yourself, but keep going. Princess of Cups, which would be the Page of Cups in the traditional tarot. Get curious about your intuition. Get curious about these thoughts that come up like out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. So if some of you are starting to lean into your intuition or to figure out like what does that mean, and I keep saying I need to do a video about that. Get curious about that. The thing is though, because that's like you have a passion project coming up. That could be about connecting to your inner self, which is your intuition. The thing is, when you start onto, whether you're starting onto a spiritual path or you're expanding your spiritual path, or you're expanding or looking into your beliefs and going from there. The truth is, Five of Pentacles, right? When we start to evolve in our spiritual self, or when we start to evolve in a new direction and have a new passion project, when we're collaborating, maybe with new people, when we're learning about who we are through a meditation process, when we're shining our light in a whole new way, ultimately, we may lose some people. Some people may put us out and say, like, you're not the same. Yeah, and my whole life has been that. Like, if you're not the same, like, who are you? Like, this is crazy. So just be prepared, Cancer, that as you start this exploration, and the thing is, just for me, like for me with yoga, I didn't have a choice. Yoga chose me. And it literally held my feet to the ground until I said yes. Literally, not figuratively, literally. So this new passion project of rediscovering yourself and connecting to your source of soul. You may be shedding people out. Again, we are setting new boundaries. We are deconstructing aspects of our life to construct a new one. So people in your life may start to fade away, or they may be stepping away from you. But you know what? You're going to have a whole new community of like-minded souls, and you're going to all just embrace you and say, welcome, welcome in. So let's see what the enchanted path holds for our Cancerian friends right away. Right away when the card pops out, joyful living. Choose to live joyfully every day. You have collaboration, right? And collaboration brings more sweetness into your life and into the world. And because when you start to collaborate with joyful people, with soul, they say like-minded people, and yeah, but it's really like when your soul resonates with the soul of someone else, you just that's like a big yes, right? And then you start living more joyfully, right? And you choose, then you wake up every day and you say, I choose joy today. I choose joy. And here's the thing for all of us. A little bit of, look, I'm not a scientist by any means, but quantum physics tells us, in its simplest forms, your mind, not your brain is a computer to run the systems in your body. Your mind is your thinking, right? Your mind is kind of like, can be the devil on your shoulder. It can get you into trouble. It can get you out of trouble. But your mind doesn't really know. Your soul knows the difference between what is real and what is not. Your mind does not. Your mind believes what you tell it. Your mind will look for proof of what you tell it is real. If you tell your mind, today's going to be a shitty day, like today's just going to be a crappy day, like, it's all going to go to hell, and then you will be delayed in traffic, maybe you'll be overdrawn on your bank account, maybe you'll have a disagreement with a friend, and the feeling would be very heavy. If you wake up and say, today will be joyful, it does not mean that there won't be some difficult moments. What it means is you choose to see the benefit and the blessing and the lesson in it. And you choose to grow. This is something. Okay, so Cancer, that is your reading. And hello, Leo. How are my beautiful Leo friends? I'll just kind of give this a little knock here. This is for Leo. For this 2-year transit, oh my goodness, 2 years. It's going to be not as long as Neptune in Aries, but 2 years is a pretty long time. It's a good time for growth. So what do the cosmic oracle cards hold for our Leo friends? So my greatest friends are Leos, and you have nurture others and also yourself. And again, more butterflies. That's about transformation. And she's got looks like a little kitty cat in her hands. So what part of you, Leo, needs to be nurtured? What part of you have you not been nurturing? That's the question. Let's see what the moon deck holds for Leo. But what part of you has not been nurtured? And that's a question that probably requires a little bit of meditation. Same card that just came out for somebody. My dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. I think this is Taurus. Interesting. And it's not surprising that the same cards come out in a reading because all this energy is commingled together. But again, Leo, what element, aspect of yourself are you not nurturing? And it could be a multitude of aspects, right? And there's no wrong answer, and there's nothing to say, man, I can't believe I haven't been doing this, because the thing is, life happens, right? People come in, people need us, but take time to slow down and nurture something in you. So Leo, let's see what the tarot holds for you. That's your question, Leo. What element or aspect of yourself have you not been nurturing? Or that is asking you. Look at this. 9 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. We'll just take all of these. On the root, the the Tower. I know. Leos are probably yelling at me like, stop laughing. Our first major arcana card so far, and now we had the Emperor. Our second major arcana card, the Tower. So here's the thing. The Tower shows up when we are not aligned, when we are misaligned in some way. And usually when it's a fairly big misalignment. It's not just like, it's not just a little thing. It's usually when we're supposed to be over here and we're like 30 degrees that way. It's like the universe is going, stop. This could come back to your nurturing. Right? If this can come back to your nurturing, like maybe you've been giving so much of yourself away that not only have you not been nurturing yourself, maybe you haven't been paying attention to your dreams. Maybe your dreams, Leo, are trying to get your attention. And you're like, no, I'm sorry. 9 of Wands. Like, I have to do for everyone else. I have to tend, look at this. The poor guy, this is considered like the wounded warrior, like in the traditional Rider-Waite. Like, it's one person tending to the crops for everybody, for the village, right? And he's there by himself. He's exhausted. Like, he's like, I have to lean up against this tree because if I don't, I'm going to fall the hell over. So, Leo, where have you not been nurturing yourself? I'm going to keep saying that. And here's the thing. Queen of Pentacles, like, yeah. What are you sacrificing? What are you giving away that you're sacrificing your own stability, your own preservation, your own comfort? No. He's exhausted. He's going to fall. If that tree wasn't there, he'd be laying down, snapping, right? He'd be laying down, taking a nap. The poor guy does not even have any shoes on, I don't think. Right? Because he's been tending, he's been working around the clock 24/7 to grow these crops. But the thing is, that's not the whole job. The job is not to be there 24/7. The job is to see how these can grow and still maintain and take care of yourself. Because you need stability, but not at the price of sacrificing your health and your wellness. Not at the price of sacrificing nurturing and taking care of yourself. And sometimes, and that's when the Tower is going to come in and say, wait a minute, you're holding on to this, right? The Four of Pentacles can be like holding on a little too tight to something. You're holding on to this, not realizing that this brings you this, but you don't have to work quite so hard. When we overwork and when we overdo, we burn ourselves out. When we burn ourselves out, we have nothing else. We have nothing for ourselves. Then we get frustrated. We claim to have anxiety, and that's a whole nother discussion. We can feel anxious without labeling ourselves as having anxiety. There's a whole psychology. But again, I'm not a doctor or psychologist, but there's a whole thing about the way we look at this or how we label things. But if you don't take care of yourself, Leo, the Tower will come. The Tower will put you into a forced rest. So listen to your dreams. And let's see what the enchanted path holds for our Leo friends. You want them to love and honor and nurture themselves. You want them to be whole and fulfilled for themselves, for their families, for their friends, and for their overall health and wellness, mentally, physically, mystically, emotionally, spiritually. And you have joy. Find joy in the little things every day. Leo, just jump up every day and say, I have joy. I have joy. Find joy in the little things. Pay attention to the little things. Like here, she's paying attention to the kitty. I take it as a cat, right? Joy in the little things. Like the rest of the world has gone dark. It's just her and the kitty cat. And they're both giving each other an energetic exchange that is healing. Lead into joy and nurture yourself, Leo. And that is your reading. Virgo. Hello, Virgo. How are you? Let's see what the cards hold for Virgo. The cosmic, okay, this is our cosmic energy deck. You'd think I would know this, but I still have to look on the back. Again, I have a couple things coming up, and I am feeling a little, you know, a little anxious. That's fine. Nothing, no big deal. But it's kind of like, okay, I just want to get it done, but it's fine. Virgo, what did the Cosmic Energy Oracle cards hold for our Virgo friends during this Saturn in Aries transit? Okay, you have 2. Abundance. I love this, Virgo. Abundance comes from inner fulfillment and outer effort. So if Leo is nurturing themselves, right, when you nurture yourselves, then you get to have the abundance and fulfillment, right? And growth is a journey. Trust each step. Gemini had trust your own step. And again, we're trusting steps, one step at a time. Quantum leaps are rare. And if we did quantum leaps all the time, we would miss everything. And again, there's more butterflies. There's decorations hanging off the tree. Almost looks like a ring of fire around the sun, which might align with the eclipse that we're having in Aquarius coming up in a couple days. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so what does the moon deck hold for our Virgo friends? Abundance and growth. I love both of these for you, Virgo. These are great cards. And these cards look very peaceful. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, right? You look at this and you just feel like calm, right? You just feel like an exhale. What does the moon deck hold for our Virgo friends? And you have, there is medicine in my shadow. So some of you may be going into shadow work, though. There's medicine in my shadow. So let's understand that for every hardship, for every big lesson in life, there is wisdom. That's what that means. I mean, there's the owl, right? Covering the head. So finding the wisdom in the lessons. Yeah. And that's where growth sparks, right? We grow from acknowledging the lesson instead of holding on to it. Instead of holding on to the event, we grow and we go, what was the lesson here for me to learn? That's where we grow. That's where we find abundance. And that's, inner fulfillment. Your shadow is your inner self. Page of Cups. Empress. So starting something new. For some of you, 10 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. I love this. Ace of Swords. Again, aces are always opportunities that present themselves to us. So again, you have abundance, growth. Medicine there's medicine in your shadow, which is your spiritual self, right? You have Page of Cups. Again, right? To find the medicine in your shadow, you have to lean into the curiosity of your intuition. You have to lean into the curiosity of your own inner power, your own inner strength, of your own inner wisdom. Your inner wisdom outranks the wisdom that we learn through life lessons. It's asking you to tune into that. And in doing so, like, you have abundance, growth, and you have the Empress. Again, the Empress embodies all the queens in the minor arcana. She is the intuitive. She is the one who gives life to things. And you have the Ace of Swords. So again, giving life to something, new opportunities coming your way. For some of you, this is coming up that some of you might be starting either writing a book or starting. I don't get the feeling, although it could be for some, I don't get the feeling it's a journaling practice. I get the feeling you're writing something specific. Whether you're starting a vlog or blog, whatever it is, whether you're putting something out there. Writing is coming up very strong. And just look how, like, where the sun is just illuminating, like where that life is at inside of her. Ten of Pentacles, again, card of abundance. You have abundance as your first card. Great things, Virgo, are destined to come to you. Like, you are just lining up. And that alignment comes from realizing that, where your shadows, because you have shadows, there's medicine in that. Medicine comes from, if you dive into the belly of the pain, that's where you heal. When you dive into the wisdom of the shadow, that's where you find the medicine to heal. This is going to take you down a little bit of a rabbit hole. If you go in that direction, Virgo, let me know. Let's pull your Enchanted Path Oracle card. This is very exciting. This is very exciting. I think I'm going to end this video here, publish it, and then come back for the rest of, this is almost an hour, so I will come back for the rest of the signs. So let's see what the Enchanted Path holds for our Virgo friends. Creativity, right? Tap into your creative potential. Creative potential is so much broader and wider than what you can see with your physical eyes. Trust. Again, your first card, abundance, comes from inner fulfillment and outer effort growth. Growth is a journey. Trust each step, even the steps that you cannot see in front of you. Creativity, tap into your creative potential. Virgo, that is your reading. We will cap it here. We are about an hour into this. I will publish this. I will come on with the next section for the final 6 signs of our astrology. If you have any questions, comments, if you would like to schedule a personal reading, feel free to reach me. The contact information is in the description box below. And until next time, sending you light and love, and happy Saturn in Aries, everybody.